Well, good morning, folks. I'm Jeffrey Daugherty. Welcome to the Gospel Truth YouTube channel. I am the Christian Whistleblower, and I'm glad to have you with us. This is the next installment of Create Yourself, which is one of our most practical sessions that we do. And it really talks about how NCK, which is New Cosmic Knowledge, where we create and assimilate spiritual techniques, spiritual technologies, and Create Yourself is all about learning how to apply these spiritual technologies in your life. And I want to talk today about rituals, morning rituals for spiritual progress. And it's very important if you do want to, Ashley, it's very important if you do want to make spiritual progress that you create in your life spiritual rituals. And the spiritual life is a ritual life. What I mean is there are things that you do on a regular and consistent basis that build upon another and one another. And one of these is a ritual of meditation and a ritual of contemplation. I want to share these with you. They've been very formative in my life. I think they'll be formative in your life. Part of them has to do with the tarot card, and part of them has to do with just contemplation. So what I do is I do what I call a relaxation ritual. And it's very simple. I just get myself set in a place where I know I'm not going to be bothered for 5 minutes, or even 3 minutes, or 4 minutes, or 2 minutes, or even one, if that's where you have to start. And you just sit comfortably, and sometimes I'll lie, but you have the risk of falling asleep. So if you have trouble sleeping, it's a great way to fall asleep, even though it's not really what you're after. But you just want to close your eyes, take 3 deep breaths, take it in through the nose, and out through the mouth. Out through the mouth. And out through the mouth. And you just want to keep your eyes closed, and you visualize a ball of searing energy, just a ball of energy down around your feet. And to be frank with you, I've begun to visualize the complete total solar eclipse that I witnessed and the tremendous male-female energy. And I just noticed that I visualized that around my feet, that power, that energy. I visualize it moving up into my legs. I visualize it moving up into my center of my body, moving up into my chest, moving up into my head and above my head. This power of, I use the full solar eclipse. You may use a golden ball of light. And as it is sitting above my head, I just kind of do a checkup on my body. If I notice any areas of soreness, I might do some EFT later. But I get myself there. I'm just, and this is a good time also to do your 12D shield. So you're 10 feet tall and bulletproof. Take your 3 breaths when you're ready. And there you are. And I always do that for some reason. I don't know what it is, but so you're kind of centered in your focus. Then I'll take my tarot cards. I use the Rider-Waite Smith-Coleman deck, and I recommend this to everyone that just begins to work with the tarot, that you take only the major arcana. That's the 22 cards that are like this. You know, they're people with just a word down there and a number. It's 1 to 22. And I was talking to Heidi Vandenberg, who's starting out in the tarot, and I recommended her this as well. You just take those 22 and shuffle them up. This is immediately after your relaxation ritual or your focus ritual. You take those 22 major arcana and you shuffle them up. And let me grab something. I forgot. I'll be right back. Just shuffle your tarot cards. And it's helpful to have a guidebook. This is a book I got that really helped me out. And don't worry about the title. It's called Modern Magic. But it has a lot of this ritual stuff that you can do and things that you can use to help yourself. And the reason I got this one is because it has a place in here. And I've committed most of this to memory, but I just wanted to show you. There's a thing in here. There's a page. Happens to be page 20 that talks about the meaning of all the major arcana. Now, there really is no set meaning of the tarot, but it just gives you an idea and helps you when you're beginning to have an idea of what you're thinking about and to maybe focus and guide you at the beginning. So you get your tarot cards, and I've been sitting here shuffling them, and I don't worry about reverse or anything. You just got a nice stack, and you take and, just cut them where you think they should be cut. And if you want to get real fancy, you can, I don't know if I can still do this. Cut them with one hand. Come on, work with me. They're too new. They're too sticky. But anyway, you cut them and turn yourself up a card. Justice. That's the card I pulled. And you want to stare at it. Well, not stare at it, but you want to observe it for no more than 3 minutes. I'm not going to do it for a full 3 minutes, but you study that card. Just meditate upon it for about 3 minutes. You can notice the coloring of the card. You can notice the subtleties of the card. His foot is showing from underneath his robe. His robe is red. He's sitting on a throne. He's got balances in his right hand. He's got the sword in his left hand. He's sitting between two pillars. He's got some long hair. He's got a jewel on his thingamabob around his neck. Justice. So you just look at it for about 3 minutes. You ponder it. You think about it. And then once you've, looked at it for 3 minutes, then you set it aside. And if you're new and if you're beginning, you can look into your book. And we were just looking at Justice, right? Wasn't it Justice? Was that the card I had? Where did I put the card? Yeah, it was Justice. So if I go into the book, it tells me that justice means balance, justice, equilibrium. Balance, justice, and equilibrium. And it's very interesting that we just were talking about the solar eclipse. Because the solar eclipse, and you heard me visualizing the solar eclipse as I did my relaxation ritual. And the solar eclipse is all about balance. The solar eclipse is all about equilibrium. The solar eclipse is all about the male and the female coming in balance and making that available to us. In these next 7 years are a time for us to manifest that and make the most of that. So, you got the card Justice. Some decks call it Temperance, I believe. It's all about being balanced. He's got justice in his right hand, so he's looking to be just to people. And then he's got the sword in his left hand, so he's ready to defend and attack if necessary. That's kind of like me. I feel like I want to be just, but don't push me too far. So it's balance. Balance of mercy and justice, and balance of defense and, I don't want to say attack, but defense and aggression if necessary. And that's really what we have to do in the spiritual realm. We want balance, we want justice, and sometimes you have to enforce justice. But at any rate, that's an idea of how you do a morning ritual of relaxation, focus, meditation. I talk about start with 10 seconds. Some people think I'm joking. I'm not. and then you can move into a tarot contemplation, and that'll help you. And the tarot really is a journey. The tarot is a journey through spirituality. And even if you think tarot is bad and evil, you would benefit yourself by learning it. And that book it's called Modern Magic by Donald Michael Craig. It also has a foreword from Lon Milo Duquette, who I was lucky to meet at a conference. I'm not trying to make you a magician, but it's got some great rituals and some great understanding. It's got a silly picture on the front that can help you in your spiritual progress. So that is the morning rituals that I go through, the relaxation ritual and the tarot ritual. And it just allows you to develop a contemplative and ritualistic life, and that you do slow down. You do take the time to relax and focus. You do take the time to look into a spiritual system such as the tarot, and you do take a time to learn some things. And like we said last night on the show with Rocky, there's nothing remarkable inside your comfort zone. There's nothing exciting inside your comfort zone. And maybe, this entails getting outside your comfort zone for some of you to go, to the tarot when you got things like this in there, but this does not mean what you think it means. So it's very good to do. Make sure you pull out just the 22 major arcana. You don't want to try to be pulling, a 2 of wands or something and try to understand what that means. Not at the beginning. So pull out your major arcana and go to work. If you don't want to buy, if you can't afford, or if you don't have the desire to buy one, you can go online and get a tarot deck, and you can just pull it up and kind of randomly pick one. That can work for you as well. I recommend you buy one. I think every person seeking spiritual enlightenment should have a tarot deck. They're just a great tool. And I also want to start incorporating palmistry. I'm a big palmist, and I think when we start doing our personal work together, the first thing I'm going to do is have you show me the back of your hands and show me the palms of your hands so I can do a quick palm reading on you and get a kind of a baseline of where you are and where we need to go. So now you know all my secrets. So, interesting stuff for the morning. Now, this is part of Create Yourself. Part of creating yourself is creating a ritual lifestyle and a rich lifestyle of spiritual contemplation and spiritual taking time to stop and smell the roses is a advance for most people, but the true spiritual person will take time to stop and plant roses, stop and cultivate roses, stop and smell the roses that have been planted and cultivated. So it's a journey. You're a planter, you're a waterer, and you're an enjoyer of the full flower. So that was kind of profound. I'll entertain some quick questions here if there's any. Good morning, bro. Ashley's going to spam the chat instead of my email. Good for her. 10 feet tall and bulletproof? Absolutely. Oh, that's a song? I didn't know it was a song. I just got a set of crystal cards. Very excited to learn to begin using them. Don't know what those are, Chris. But you can count on Chris to be have a different spin. Good morning, all. And yes, coffee is a part of my morning ritual, a very large part. Denise has several tarot decks. I'm a traditionalist a bit. That's why I go with the Rider-Waite Smith. Each major arcana card also represents a specific entity. Look at Ashley getting deep. Each one is a different one. I found that warriors are driven towards justice. I would agree. Good morning, Renaissance woman. She just got the devil card. The devil card doesn't mean what you think it means, but that's a good card, depending. And the thing to know is that there's really not one, there's not one meaning only for tarot cards. And like, for example, Jenny Moonstone, very intuitive in her tarot reading. Me, I'm a little more traditionalist as far as a tarot reader goes, but I do incorporate intuition. But I do tend to stick more to the cards than probably Jenny does. But that's why there's different people, so we can all contribute different things. And Jenny and Heidi will be on the channel, I believe, tomorrow. I may try to bring Rex in on that too. That would be fun. Although it's talking about Elvis, I don't know if that would be appropriate or not. I'm drawing a crystal meditation as I notice those crystals are gentle and always speak a clear message. And that's what I want for myself. Tamu was an inspiration for going all the way. Tamu does have a very calm and gentle energy about her. Very much different than me, obviously. I love palmistry as well. A Renaissance woman designed her own tarot deck. And that is that's a very good, a lot of people recommend that you design your own tarot deck. It's a great way to learn them. I got crystal chip necklaces. Great. That's awesome, man. Heather Alexander sings it. Different spin makes life exciting. Yes, it does. So that's an idea for you of a morning ritual that you can do to focus yourself and begin to learn more about a spiritual system such as the tarot, an ancient spiritual system. And that is part of Create Yourself. This is very practical. This is very, very, very practical. I really can't say anything more than that. So I'm Jeffrey Darty. This has been The Gospel Truth about morning rituals. And I hope that you will all incorporate morning rituals and even create your own morning rituals, because it's time to just stop existing, and it's time to create yourself and build a life that you will love, and a life of service, and a life of being excellent to yourself, and a life of being excellent to each other. So as always, as we go, and this is just the first of many times we'll speak today, remember, you don't have original sin within. You've got the spark of divinity within. And as the Christ said, learn to love the divinity in you. And that'll help you learn to love yourself. And as you learn to love yourself, you then can love your neighbor, because you realize your neighbor also has divinity in them. And that way you can be excellent to yourself, and we can all be excellent to each other. And that's where things really get good, individually and collectively. Until next time, this is Jeff Darty. All of you that are here seeking truth, I salute you, and we'll see you again several times today as we continue our growth, as we continue our progression, and as we continue to learn and build. I encourage you to like and share and subscribe. If you want to do personal work with me, I offer it on a donation basis. Send me an email. Give me 3 times where you can make it, and we'll make one of those work. Send me your Skype name and or your Google Hangouts name so that we can make for easy connection. That's what we want to do. And I appreciate your attendance. And until next time, I'm Jeffrey Darty, wishing you all the best, and we'll see you again soon.